We are live coming here with a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I'm your host, Trevor, and tonight we are joined by Alex. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Yo, yo, yo.
And we're also joined by Andy. Andy, how are you doing tonight?
What up, what up?
And we are here with episode 1. How we feeling, boys? EP 1, or should we say EP 2 of EP 1? Like, I'm excited.
I was thinking, like, how can they say that this was episode 1 and not last week's? Because there was no intros of anything. Like, they didn't talk about, like, if you were watching this thinking that this was episode 1, which is what MTV marketed it as, you would be thinking, like, who the hell are these people? Like, what's the thought process there?
Well, last week was episode 0.
Correct.
God, it was a pre. Alex, I gotta ask, like, have you been paying the bills? Why are you so dark? Like,
we'll get into that.
Can we get a light?
I don't know about you guys. I liked tonight's episode. I enjoyed it. Thing is, I would give it like a B+ to an A- for the first 95% of it. Hated the fact that they ended with TJ saying you guys are getting new partners. Maybe we'll get into that later. But I liked all the format stuff about like last place goes in, everybody gets a vote, very Fresh Meat 2-esque. So I liked all of that. I thought the daily was fine. I thought a lot of the alliances forming were fine. I just didn't like the very end, but overall I liked the episode.
Now, I want to ask you guys, and I want to do the intro again correctly, but I held off for a reason. Do you want me to even call it Vets and New Threats, or can I just call it Fresh Meat 3?
It's Fresh Meat 3.
Okay, so moving forward, we're going to address the season as Fresh Meat 3.
Correct.
It will be in the title sequence. It will be when we tweet it out, go on YouTube. It will be Fresh Meat 3.
However,
if the season's bad, we'll just edit that.
Well, no, like Alex just mentioned, the last 2 minutes of the episode, now it is no longer Fresh Meat 3, which is dumb because they had gold. Like, they had it. And then after, because we got a little tease of we're going to get new teams, but I thought that was going to be halfway through the season or something. We're talking episode 1. I don't know about Fresh Meat 3 now. Now I'm kind of real pissed because now they gave us Fresh Meat for 1 episode, which was really no episodes. And now we're back. Yeah, I guess technically 95% of 1 episode. So I've been banging on the doors of BME for years for Fresh Meat 3, and they say, here you go. And then they say, just kidding.
It's kind of impressive. Like, we've given them these ideas, and they still fuck it up. Like, it is unbelievable. But Andy, overall, your thoughts on tonight's episode?
I thought it was really good, but the problem is, like, I really don't, like, my whole brain right now is just wrapped up into the last couple minutes because it was, like, what we saw was perfect of Fresh Meat. Like, and even when they went through the votings, like, I thought the daily was great. It's welcome to the challenge for a lot of people. I thought the deliberation was great because some teams it was the vets talking, the rookie shuts up. Other teams, it was the vet saying they're thinking about the rookie, they're making this decision. Tay was talking on behalf of Tay was talking on behalf of C-Tay. And that's what I like because when you have this dynamic, you have to kind of juggle both. And we've talked about this ad nauseum on this show. BME has a good thing. When they have a good format, don't do too much because you already had small alliances forming, big alliances forming, rookies working with their partners as vets, and now it's all thrown out the window. So I like the episode, but I can't get past the ending.
Yeah, I could not believe, and I don't know if you felt this way, I thought the voting process by some of these vets, spoilers, was terrible.
Like Derek?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
You literally have a segment with Bananas talking, like, and then you want to give him like that. That is just crazy to me.
What's funny about that scene is
Also, sorry
Get-
to interrupt.
Yep.
Now that I'm thinking about it, both Derek's were idiots in there. I didn't know which Derek you were talking about. They both were morons. You had Derek
True.
not even playing a card and saying, "Oh, I want to give Rogan his shot." I thought that's what you were talking about. I completely forgot about what he said 12 hours ago.
Well, that was the scene with Kaczynski and Bananas where they're talking, and that's when Bananas first starts forming the plan of let's throw in someone from the UK, and Derek's just sitting there going like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah, I'm following." Like I was watching that with DR, and as that scene gets over, I was like, Derek's such an idiot. He doesn't even know what Bananas is saying. He's just saying, uh-huh. Because Bananas was like talking strategy and Derek was just sitting there just like blank face, like, yeah. All right. And then lo and behold, they get to the voting and it's like, yeah, he is an idiot.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive right in. Mikey the Doctor, Ryan McCord, great to see you guys in the chat tonight. And yeah, Alex, I don't know how we lost him already. You know, I know he's basically
Rogan.
He might exactly. He might have been gone faster than Rogan. He's probably in that redemption house upstairs right now. Who knows? Watching HBO with Kenny. So
White Lotus.
White Lotus season 3. Is that what the soda fizz noise is every episode? Yes. You guys hear the soda noise? I don't know what Alex does to his computer. All right. Diving right in tonight's episode. Daily. We go right into the daily right out of the gate. Love that. I don't know if you've ever seen this before or heard of us talk about this. I mean, this was straight out of a Mario Party video game. This was literally the one where you're picking up the little like coin bags. It's like the red and gold ones, essentially.
And everyone goes for the big one and waits for the big one.
It literally is. Like I'm just picturing BME. It's like December. They're like, oh my God, Mario Party's coming out with a new Jamboree. Intern Trevor, go play every single game. Tell us the 15 that we should do. And it's literally that.
Wait, do you have the new Mario Party?
Yes.
You should play them all and do exactly what you just said, but for us as a preview of this is because I don't know if you saw, but they're in go-karts in one of the preview episodes. So I think you should do what you just said and come back next episode with, all right, this is what I think it's going to be. And then show us like a little, clip or a picture or something. Because I did not hand up. I didn't get Mario Party vibes until you said that. But then, I mean, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, it was like the little plant that like spits out or whatever. Like it's literally that. But overall, so basically the whole challenge was 2 separate times, and you had 2 separate ball drops or whatever. Gold and red balls. Reds were worth 5 or gold were worth 10. Gold were obviously worth more points. And these people would run, sprint down the mud. I feel like in those, like, you got to keep your shoes on. It's very messy. Like, why would you ever want to take your shoes off in a situation like this? Definitely unsanitary, very probably like glass bottles. They probably just dug it right up, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
there's probably some like burnt cigarettes from all the construction workers.
Yeah,
like hot rope jump.
Them just doing that. And then, ultimately just picking up the balls, who can score the most points.
Yes, thank you, Casey.
I like this daily. I think it's a fun daily. I think it's very short. It's very sweet. I love it.
I think every first daily of every season, you show me a mud pit and some balls, and I'm in. I'm just in. I don't care what the premise is, what they actually have to do with that. Mud pit, balls, episode 1. Let's go.
What did you think about the aspect that they were like tied together, them and their partner? Did you like that? Or do you think it would have been better if it was just kind of like everybody free for all?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I actually did like it. Looking back after what we know now, that they're literally not going to be partners again, I think it's dumb. Like, you do something like that if that's your partner for the season. You guys have to work together. Like, D and Bananas don't have to work together anymore. I think. I don't know. Like,
Oh,
I think it's cool when you have a harsh bonding moment like that. It was almost like, do you remember? I think it was X's when they did the honey. Like, it's stuff like that gets me. It gets me like,
the
when you
soap.
incorporate the was it so what was the
Soap
honey
was
one?
Rivals 3 where they're like riding each other from behind.
No, I'm talking the honey where I'm pretty sure it was X's.
Yeah, where they're like scooping off the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you have a challenge that's centered around what the theme of the season is, I'm in for it. The problem is this isn't the theme anymore. So I think it's kind of dumb, but it did make for some like, we talked about this last week. Turbo was literally dragging America around. He didn't give a shit what she said or how she was doing.
God. When you saw the daily right out of the gate and you saw they were going to be tied up together with their partner, what were the odds that they were going to show the Bananas backpack? Minus
Oh, it was
5,000?
more.
Oh,
I don't even think DraftKings or FanDuel would have it. I think it's one of those.
God. So the one thing I want to talk about, and I might have just missed this, did they ever explain the scoring process?
Like, yeah, I thought you just did again.
No. Sorry. So Bananas and D win.
Yeah.
They got like 8 points or whatever that was.
No. So that threw me off. They only got 8 points because they finished in first place.
But we don't know what these points actually mean yet, correct?
Correct.
Interessante.
And you could tell, and this was, and thinking about it, was almost a little foreshadowy, because they had a scoreboard after the daily, and it had everyone's individual name with, like, Bananas had 8, D also had 8, Aviv had 7, and Jeremy had 7. So seeing an individual scoreboard is kind of like, all right, this makes sense.
So is this like a free agents game?
I don't know. That's why it's so fucking dumb. Like, this episode was very, very good. We were back last week. We were all the way back again this week. And then right at the very end, BME gets in their own way.
Unbelievable. So Johnny and D pick up the win. They got 8 points. Yermi and Aviv, 7 points for second. Theo and Izzy, third with 6 points. Cedric, Diggory, and Olivia with 5 points. Will Michaela, is it? Yeah, it's Michaela, right? Is the partner?
Yes.
4
for
points.
now.
For now. Then you had 3 points, Gabe and Ashley, 2 points, Leroy and Sydney, and 1 point for Justin and Naya. Last place going straight in was Rogan and Rocky's wife. So,
Did they get married?
in the movies, I think they did, right?
I don't know. That just kind of screams like they're lovers, but he's got to go fight the Russians. So, like,
No time.
he's married to the game. I feel like he was married to the game more than her, but I don't know.
God.
I haven't seen those Rockies.
Oh, come on. So, Rogan and Adrian finished last. What do you think about the strategy for her taking her shoes off?
I mean, did you think the first thing that I thought?
I thought
It was, I mean, it was Wes and Rivals 1. It's like, how dumb can you be? Guess what? You're going to get hurt. Like, you think you can climb up a mountain did he go without, or he put rocks in his socks? Like, you think you can climb in and out of this mud pit that people are falling into? There's rocks everywhere and not have something happen?
He's, literally so stupid. I don't know. CT looked terrible too. Let's throw that out there. I see that in the chat. CT was crawling slower than George Burge right now. Like, it was out of control.
It's bad when Tay was literally the one motivating CT. Like, this guy used to be an endurance machine. Even when he was like chunky CT, I think free agents, I want to say.
I think so.
But either way, like he always had a motor to him.
Yeah.
But now it's like, ruh-roh. It would have been fun to see him just topple down because Tape probably weighs like 110 pounds and just see him topple down and she's tied to his waist just going with him.
That could have been a death. That was like who was Ashley's partner? Gabe, the wrestler.
Will.
Well, God, all these rookies. I'm still like, I just need to put like a headshot list together of all these people.
It is Gabe.
I was about to say like Leo Rush because I remember wrestling. Like, wasn't that brought up last week? Wrestler.
Yes.
God,
it is Gabe.
Weird.
Ashley is with Gabe.
Wait, so I was right.
Yes.
God, you son of a bitch. I thought so. God. All right, so but Ashley brought that up too. Is like, I feel like I'm gonna fall down and just get demolished by this guy. But no, overall, like a very enjoyable episode 1, very classic episode 1 daily. So
yeah,
really enjoyed that. Like I said, Rogan and Adrian finishing last, and Bananas and D picking up the dub. So what do we think about Bananas and D? We didn't really talk about Bananas and D picking up the Bananas and D picking up the win. I mean, he's just What do you got, Andy? What do you got?
Can you repeat the question?
I'm sorry. Bananas and D picking up the win. Oh, your overall thoughts?
That was a no doubter, as much as the Bananas backpack clip. They were a great team. They were my number 1 power rankings. Those are now thrown out. Everything we talked about last week is thrown out the window, aside from my individual rookie rankings of 1 through 5, which are still viable. But this is something that Bananas does in his sleep. So the fact that he was with a good partner who also let him kind of take charge, no chance ever losing this.
This team's good. This team's very good, and guess what? We're never going to see them as a team again.
I know.
Just a waste. And it kind of ruins, like, I almost want to say, like, the whole first, like, Meet the Partners episode 0 thing meant absolutely nothing now.
Correct. Aside from, again, my power rankings.
God, enough of your power rankings. So, D's looking bad, too.
I know.
She looks great. So, Tommy Tsunami, welcome to the chat. Great to have you back this season. We might have to, I mean, who knows with Alex these days? Maybe Tommy full time? I don't know. We gotta talk to the boardroom about it. But we do have an over under 6.5 co-stars to join us, so it'd be great for the over.
Oh
God. All right, moving on. The Club. So at the Club, we kind of hear Justin's name getting tossed around, which isn't surprising. You know, probably looks on paper the weakest person. Rookie has no ties, no surprise there, I will say. You know, I have to laugh at like how fast already we're having a divide. Like the divide is crazy.
Yeah. Which part of me thought that, like, I think that's one of the downsides of having as many people from the UK as we have, because you didn't have a clear divide like that in the house in like a Fresh Meat 2, for instance. It was solely based on who's worked with who trusts who's getting along with who. Like for every heavy foreign season that we've had, it just day one, it's immediately UK or UK extended against America.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm reading messages from Alex right now saying, "Yeah, add me back right now." And now he's like BRV. So who knows his status of the season? But we're all in here.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
I know, terrible. Vets want Jake. Jake, where did you have Jake on your power rankings? Is that the one we were fighting over, or who was the?
I told you Jake was good. I think I had him at a 3, and then after he finished 4th overall, I believe, I think I bumped him to a 4.
Okay. I remember us fighting over one of those UK Brit guys. I don't know. They all blend together.
But yeah, I don't know. It was Ben's name got thrown out there a little bit too, which I thought was interessante. And Rogan doing the classic, I think I just want to go against whoever they pick, and that lasted like a full 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, Jake, I think Jake, on paper, Jake versus Rogan is a very fun episode 1 elimination. I think both of those guys, like, not knowing the elimination or going into it blind, those are, like, on paper, 2 good competitors, it seems like. Alex, welcome back. What are your thoughts on kind of the whole Clurb situation of Jake being talked about with the vets, Justin kind of being the rookies, or the Brits trying to throw him in? Overall thoughts?
I liked it because I liked that the 2 sides started forming right away. I feel like in the olden days, one of the possibilities would be like they just pick a team and everybody kind of agrees with it and we're good to go. And it's like the kind of the weakest team, whatever. This one, because half of the people are veterans, they all kind of have a say. And I just really enjoyed, honestly, one of my favorite like mini scenes, kind of most rewatchable scene, was that moment after the Clurb where they've all kind of decided that Justin's going to be the main guy. And then it was like, they were in the bunk beds, and it was like Ashley, Viva, Vive, Nani was on the top bunk, Leroy was in there, and they're all these veterans who were basically like, let's think about this and not just like give Rogan whoever he wants. And it's just fun like seeing that combination of people working together, because in another season, in another format, another world, like Ashley is not working with Nani and stuff like that. And so I just like, wow. And it happened kind of on War of the Worlds 1, 2, or War of the Worlds 1 TOO as well. Because I think there was a big UK contingent on that season as well. And so I just like seeing all of those veterans kind of come together a little bit.
Yeah, no, the scene you're talking about, I really enjoyed as well. I think it's always better when you have a good set of vets kind of being that underdog, not underdog, but like outnumbered. And it's like, there's nothing we can do except work together. Even though we don't want to, it's just like, we kind of have to. So.
Which I think is fun. And again, like, guess what? If the format stayed the same, then maybe there is like an Ashley and Nani and a Leroy, because I don't think Leroy and
You good?
I don't think Leroy no, and Ashley would necessarily be a perfect fit based on Ashley's history, but like seeing them develop as an alliance throughout a season would be so much fun, and we're not going to get to have that.
All right, moving on, talking from the Clurb, let's go to the voting process. Alex, you kind of talked about it already, so we'll let you give the floor here. Voting, you said you really enjoyed it. Talk me through it.
Yeah, so I like the idea of last place goes in, first place is safe, and because there's a few different ways you can do it. You can be like, oh, first place just picks the team that goes in. This time it's like basically Bananas doesn't have a vote, last place doesn't have a vote, and then And then the whole thing with like, I want to get your guys' thoughts on like the saving the team, because you'd kind of think that maybe later on you'd utilize the save another team to like save one of your allies. And this one, because it was our first one, Bananas kind of assumed, and I kind of assumed too, that like whatever team you save also does not get a vote. I don't think they should, because I think that's basically the same as winning the challenge. If you're not going to give the winners a vote, I don't think you should give the save team a vote. So that was just kind of another weird wrinkle as well. But I just like that everybody gets a vote. Like you don't have to come in first place to be able to like kind of play the political game.
The issue that I have with it, I wish it was like Bananas did it silently, or like you didn't know who they like X'd out, and like if they guessed the right person,
yeah,
then it would have been like kind of like, what was it, Double Agents, where like something would flash on the screen or something like that. I don't know. I think I will, like, I feel like there's some power to it, but not as much as I think there should be. I don't know.
You don't think there's enough power for first place?
Well, I think, especially in episode 1, it's hard because you don't know how the game's played. Now it's very strategic. You're not obviously burning a vote on Theo or whoever. You're going to, like, in that situation, like, if Bananas were to go through that whole process again, he'd probably throw it on Justin.
Well, you know what's interesting is I think it gives you even more power as first place, because you can say, when you were starting that sentence, Trev, I was immediately thinking someone like Leroy, who Bananas can make sure he's safe. You know you're going to vote for him. But for someone like Justin, Bananas can go up to him and say, hey, I'm willing to save you guys if you give me your vote.
Yeah.
Like, I'll save you if you vote for somebody else.
Correct.
Yeah, basically, since if I'm winning the challenge, I don't get a vote, but you can be safe as like my ally and kind of use my vote as a proxy, basically.
So maybe that's why I'm thinking it's very, and this just is me thinking also like Survivor. I'm almost thinking like if Bananas were to vote, let's just say he voted for who went in tonight? Justin. If he would have voted for Justin, they would have showed like them voting. It would have been like, Justin, the vote does not count, or you know what I'm saying? And then it would have gone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like you're showing a lot of your car. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know.
Like when Rico gave Dave the idol after the vote.
Yes, fucking moron.
Where do you guys stand on each team getting just one vote?
I don't like that. I think they should be split.
I agree. In general, I agree with that, and especially now because they are just everybody's individuals, basically, right? Like you're going to be teamed up with somebody for an episode, but like even on the leaderboard, they were listed as individuals. Like this game is going to be individual game, and so I just don't like that. Like one vote is split between two people, and it just adds to drama. Like when people are, your partner doesn't vote the way you do, and then they get mad later on. Like I just think that that's a small thing. Again, like I liked high level a lot of the stuff tonight, but there were these small little wrinkles, this being one of them, that I just did not like.
I actually liked it if the format stayed the same. Like to your point, if we didn't get the curveball, I do like it because it gets more of a camaraderie. You have to rely on each other aspect. But yeah, after that twist, it was, this is so dumb. Makes no sense at all. Now, I've got a question, because thinking back to the individual aspect of it, I think we've seen this before. Maybe way back when everyone used to have a bank, like money tied to them instead of points. And if you take someone out, you take their bank. Do we think that could be the case here with points?
Yeah.
Just throughout the season?
I don't know, because Justin did have 1 point going into this tonight, and they didn't mention it.
But I don't think that'd be something they would mention episode 1.
Oh, so you think it's like a twist at the end? But you would see it in the leaderboards the next week.
No. I think they wouldn't bring it up until someone went home that had points.
Yeah.
Justin went home.
Because that won't take long. Like, that probably won't take more than 3 episodes max. And then it becomes like, oh shit, now, Jeremy with 7 points is even more of a threat than he already was. Like, let's go get him, get his points, etc.
Yeah.
I don't know, just something to think about.
Yeah, like if it was reversed and Rogan had won tonight and Justin's 1 point was going home, can't take it with you. Maybe Rogan takes that.
Yes.
But I'm sure that's something we'll see. What did you guys think in terms of not necessarily the format itself, but like the actual voting? So they go around, they vote. It's 8-6 was the final tally because there's 14 votes, 8-6 for Justin. And they played up the blonde Derek's vote as kind of like the big turning point because he kind of had that talk with Justin the night before or whatever. I think Mohawk bitch boy Derek was also underratedly, like he didn't do the vets vote.
Oh yeah,
he went that bad.
He went against that.
God, Derek's vote was so stupid. Oh, and Derek's vote was so stupid.
Yes.
I was thinking that the vets were going to have the numbers there. But then there were just like, and like Anissa and what's his face, like they voted for Justin. Like there was just some floaters out there, very floatery, that basically made it seem like the UK Alliance is this big. The Veteran Alliance is like slightly smaller than that. And then there's a few floaters who basically helped out the UK tonight.
The only vet vote that didn't, or the only vet vote that went towards Justin that I thought I could understand why was CT, simply because he didn't want to vote for Kara. Because those two are very tight. We didn't know what was going to happen with the partners. That was the only one where I was like, okay. Because, like, Derek doesn't have a close alliance with Kara. Derek doesn't have a close alliance with Kara. So, like, either one of them could have voted Jake in, no problem. So, they're all idiots. Derek's an idiot. Derek's an idiot. CT's big, fat, and lazy.
Well, and I think it's funny, too, that they, like, specifically showed before the club, they showed that scene with Bananas and Derek talking and about just, like, general scheming about, like, the UK, Olivia Alliance, blah, blah, blah. And, like, the very last thing, I think, before they cut away was Bananas, like, looking at Derek. And it just makes me smile knowing what happens because Derek has, like, the mind of, like, a 5-year-old. Bananas is looking at Derek being like, we're kind of saying the same thing, but, like, this is what you need to do if we're going to do this. And then sure enough, Derek just kind of gets there to voting time. His brain short circuits and he votes for the wrong way. And you got to think Bananas is just like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you thinking, dude?
Is the delay that bad?
It is what it is. We'll just leave it at that, Andy. Once he catches up on the first 15 minutes that he missed, he'll get that joke. All right, let's talk elimination. Rogan versus Justin. This elimination is what? It almost reminded me of, like, when you go to, like, the state fair and it's like one of those carnival games where you have to, like, roll a ball, but you have to get it to the last thing.
The bowling ball?
Yeah, and it can't go.
Unfortunately, CT wasn't in this elimination.
Oh, come on. Yeah, they're in these, like, hamster wheel things, and they basically have to just run over, every time the hill gets a little bigger each time. And then they had to touch the wall, go back, and then touch it again. Relay race style. On paper, Andy, you're the betting man, minus 500 for Rogan going into this?
Absolutely not. Once this was shown, it was minus 110 on each side. Total coin flip. Really?
Even though Rogan's bigger, and I feel like this should have been a layup for him.
Justin is a competitive cheerleader. Like, if there's one thing a competitive cheerleader would be able to do, would be like contort your body, work with momentum, work with inertia, which I think was the title of this elimination. But the second they showed what it was, total coin flip.
I thought
because
Rogan, go ahead.
Yeah, another aspect is strength was not the most important thing here. It was endurance. Have we ever seen Rogan get gassed out?
Yes, up the mountain.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think Rogan, in my opinion, would after they explained it, is still like a slight favorite just because he has the experience and he's like proven to be athletic, also proven to be gassed out before. But I think this is like you couldn't have picked something much better for Justin, just based on what his strengths, albeit maybe not a long list, are. Like being a cheerleader, they've mentioned that quite a few times. Like being able to kind of use his body, the momentum of his body, the inertia of his body. I think that was just like one of the best things that he could have gotten tonight. And I also kind
Yeah.
of liked the elimination. It was fun to watch. It would have been more interesting if like Rogan was 13% better at this and maybe he made it to the second edge and it was actually a race going back to the second one. But I think in general, this was one that was like fun to watch. You could see the crowd is getting into it. And I just think overall, as a first elimination of the season, not bad.
Andy, let me ask you this. Between this elimination and the pig roast, what would have Anissa finished first?
This one. At some point in time, that weight is going to carry that wheel. She would have. This isn't an exaggeration. We kind of joke about this. She would have died on that pole. She could have been able to just fling herself against the thing and gotten it at some point in time. But she was not getting off that pole alive.
Good. But Justin picking up the dub. Good for him. Rogan going home. GG's to him and Izzy. I know that was probably – is that now the longest challenge relationship?
Stop.
I know Andy loves talking about challenge relationships.
Did you hear him say when he went to go like say goodbye? He's like, "Goodbye, I love you." They've known each other for like 36 hours.
God, that's awesome.
I think Andy's answer to this is yes. I don't know what your answer is though, Trev. Do you want to see Rogan back? Would you be fine with seeing him back for another season?
I'm fine seeing him back, but like, I don't know. He's fine.
I think that's probably what my answer would be as well. If I saw Rogan, I'd be excited. But if like once this season's over and we're thinking about what we want the cast list to be next year, I don't know if Rogan's necessarily cracking my list.
If
Like
it's between him and a random rookie, I'm fine with him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I think we talk about this in our preview. It's like now he's 4 seasons in, 2 times he's made the final, 2 times he's gone home first. Like that's just kind of a wild roller coaster-y career, kind of like the mini roller coaster that they were on tonight. But I mean, I think I'm the same with you guys in terms of like if he's on next season, great. Don't like need him. I think I'm just thinking like more for this season. I wish I would have seen a few more episodes of Rogan as opposed to, I don't know, Justin or Derek or Derek. Like I think I'm gonna miss him just a little bit.
I agree. I think that last part is pretty spot on. I wanted more Rogan this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so 50-50 on him. He's just like one of those. It's like he's like a Joss. Like
I think Josh is a little more of a little bitch though. Like a little
put
bitch.
a nickel in Joss. That's an all-timer. God. All right, segment time. I guess, or we want to talk about kind of the plot twist at the end. How we're here's the thing. I feel like if we talk so much about this, this could be an hour-long podcast of just us shitting on the whole we're changing partners. We literally had a discussion. What was the over-under 1.5? And we're going to hit that in episode 2?
I think we got it up to 2.5,
We
which
did
is
better
going to
than
be over by 4 episodes in.
that? Jesus.
But we also don't know, and that's what I think is so annoying is I think they put more focus on twists and keeping people on their toes from
That's a good one.
I think when they do these twists, they think about how will it affect the players in the game, and they do too much as is, but it's also like it affects us as fans of the show. And we don't know what the fuck next week's going to look like. We don't know
Yeah.
what the week after that. And I think they do that to draw more enjoyment and more excitement. But I don't know about you guys. Like, we were all fired up when we knew the format. We've seen the format before. The format works. And now we have no clue what this season's going to be. Like, TJ could come on and, like, we were kind of joking about it last week. He could come on and say, all right, so the first half of this season is going to be called chaos. Like, he could legitimately do that. And then it's like, what are we doing here?
Well,
I'm pissed. I'm big mad.
to your point, like, I think the golden era of the challenge, like, you knew episode 1 what the format was, and
Yes.
you knew it the entire season all the way around. There's no, and like even Rivals 3, the whole plot twist at the end, like
It was at the very
it was at
end.
it was in the
Very
finale.
end.
It was in the finale. It did not change any of the game leading up to that moment.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm just so, the fact that we're changing people this many times, like if it actually like every episode, or I mean, what are we doing? Like,
And that's why I think it's the trying to manufacture interest in the fans, because it's almost like watching a show and like a drama, and it ends on like a cliffhanger. So then next week you're like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. But that's not what this is. This is fucking reality TV. Like, I want to know who's working with who. I want to know what alliance is working with what alliance. I want to know who's good. I want to know who's bad. Who's trying to sneak under the radar. Who's going to, like, we don't know who's going to stab who in the back. Because, like, Kara and Bananas, for instance, could be on a team together. Or Kara and, or like Bananas and Olivia. Like, I don't know. We could see a vet team and a rookie team. It's all just like thrown out the window now, and it's so dumb.
one other thing that I'm a little worried about right now, just a little. I am worried that this cast, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, 32 people this season, and we only eliminated one person.
That's bad.
And I'm thinking, like, realistically, you're probably going to let's just say at a minimum 5 people in the finale on guys, 5 girls. Subtract 10, we're gonna be at episode 22 when the finale starts.
Unless, because again, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I feel like when we're talking about the show from here on out, it's almost like Leroy being like, well, if you save a team, they don't get a vote. He doesn't know shit. We don't know shit. We can't talk about this show right now. It's so goddamn dumb. But what I was going to say is the hangnail aspect. So, Adrian, in this scenario, TJ said that she's at mercy of the jury, which I think they're just going to vote. Does she stay or does she go? No. But so like to your point, I think we could get, like, if she gets voted out next week and then someone else loses an elimination, then that number could go down a bit. But again, we have no fucking clue. So dumb.
Like, yeah, and like, why could this episode and this elimination not just have been Rogan and Adrian against Justin and Naya in the elimination? You know, girls go against the girls. They do a best of 3. TJ brings out the same stupid coin and flips it if there's a round 3, and then one team goes home, and we're left with 15 pairs. Nobody changes teams. Like, that I think would have made tonight's episode much better than it was. And I think we said it was a pretty good episode. Like, would have made it much better, easier to follow next week. It's also just annoying too, knowing now that episode 2, we're gonna have at least 5 minutes, probably 10 minutes of the episode re-picking teams, however the fuck they're gonna do that. And that's just taking up time for shit that we do not need and do not care about.
I think just talking through this has gotten to the why they do this, which is not necessarily just to manufacture excitement for next week. I think it's simply to expand the season. Because when you go individuals and you have 32 people, you can get to 20 episodes easy, walk in the park. If you have 16 teams and one team gets eliminated each week and 4 teams make it to the final, you're looking at 12 episodes. So MTV can literally double the length of their season by going individual versus duos and totally screwing this up, which back in the day they didn't give a shit about because they had Next and they had the OG Jersey Shore and they had these other shows. They only have ridiculousness and the challenge. So they really need the challenge to go on for as long as it possibly can in a calendar year.
I mean, it's so bad. MTV right now is so bad. They lost their MTV Movie Awards or Music Awards. It's on CBS. Did you not see all those ads tonight? It's on CBS. The MTV Music Awards is on CBS. How is that even possible?
And just real quick, back to Andy's point earlier about how like everything that we've been talking about in terms of like teams and stuff is just thrown out the window, not just for next week, but for the rest of the season. I was kind of pissed. So before tonight's episode, I had kind of created something that we could have used tonight. It was like a list of all of our teams. And basically I was going to like highlight the eliminated team to kind of show how it tracks with like our power rankings. And then TJ says that, you know, only one person's getting eliminated and it's going to be Rogan. And so I was thinking, all right, could I highlight like half of this cell and maybe leave like half of it blank because his partner's still here? And then as I'm trying to figure that out, TJ says we're switching partners. And then at that point, I just fucking close the document and say it's useless at this point. Our power rankings are useless. Like the teams are gone.
Crazy. I will say though, there is a segment we can add, and I think we got to like. I don't want to make the segment tonight, but I think we'll put out a poll this week of like who blank partner is. We have to bring that back. Obviously, the legendary Corey a couple seasons ago, but we definitely need to make a poll of somebody.
Well, yeah, I think we need a couple episodes to kind of see where the wind is blowing, because I think we're going to see. Because like with Corey, you could kind of see pretty early on, like he was going to be the guy who was always solo and always getting the new partner. I think collectively we have a good enough challenge eye to kind of figure out who that's going to be. We just need a few episodes to see who that hangnail is going to be, which by the way, is hangnail the worst challenge term that we've ever had? I mean, who the fuck thought of hangnail? Rogue Agent was much better than that, and it was terrible.
Oh, there's been a couple bad ones. I feel like during the mid-30s, the mumbo jumbo seasons, they were saying stuff that I wasn't even listening to. It's just in one ear out the other.
They called TJ. I was watching this on Pluto the other day. There's some season out there recently where TJ was not their host. He was their handler.
Yes.
They called him that the entire season. What the fuck?
Well, so you mentioned that we all have a good eye for who that person could be. I think each of us picks someone, and that's what the poll is going into next episode.
Ooh. Okay.
Or do we just leave it up to anyone?
I kind of want to give it to our fans, though.
I don't hate that.
I think we decide next episode, because next episode we'll kind of see exactly what the hangnail and the jury and all of that does. And I think going into episode 3, we'll have like a decent pick for each of us.
That's a good point. Again, that was me thinking that I know what the hell this season's going to entail after 2 fucking episodes. And I don't.
There we go. Segments?
Let's do it.
What do we got, Alex?
So, unfortunately, today was the first challenge episode on July 30th ever. So there's no This Day in Challenge history. But I think we can fill that in tonight with good old-fashioned radar watch.
Can I ask you this?
Go ahead.
And I don't know if you've looked ahead. Does next week have a This Day in Challenge history? Does it line up with a season at least? Or and you don't have to say the season or like.
That's a good question. It will at some point.
Okay.
Like I think next week probably not. I'll check next week, but I think it will overlap at some point.
Okay. Because I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back a segment.
Pluto?
That's in the middle of a reunion show right now.
What season is it? If it's a good season,
fresh meat, real fresh meat. Because now I need fresh meat, and I'm not getting it this season.
It's Fezzi. Maria Menounos is on there.
Of course she is.
It's Fezzi's cousin. Ride or Dies.
Oh, Mariah?
Who's this fake?
That's not his Jordan. Emmanuel?
Anissa. Jordan.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely not doing
Jordan and Anissa together was Ride or Dies.
Yeah.
That's what reunion shows on there.
Speaking of Jordan.
Oh, God.
Was Turbo wearing a cowboy hat at the elimination a way of stealing the walk back from Jordan, stealing it from him?
Did you see his shirt, what he was wearing?
It was like, I thought just like some big gown thing.
No, earlier in the episode.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. God. I was going to wait for that, possibly MVP, LVP time. So I'm not going to say. I think we might have to hold on. I didn't want to bring it up.
Okay.
Let's do Radar Watch then.
All right.
So Radar Watch, for any of our new listeners, is basically, I think it's the most fun at this stage of the season, earlier on when we have 30 people, to basically find somebody who is flying under the radar, right? MVP is basically good stuff. LVP is bad stuff. This is kind of no stuff, the Radar Watch. So anybody got a pick they want to throw out?
Yeah, I do.
I have one ready.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Michaela.
God, that's what I
think she did have like one confessional, but I would guess that almost everybody did tonight. Maybe a couple other good nominees didn't, but I just think Michaela did absolutely nothing. She wasn't in the veteran room, even though she's technically a veteran, and she is just like totally did nothing tonight.
The only reason I didn't jump at that is she was very vocal in the elimination.
Was she?
Yeah,
yes.
She was like on the sides, and she was running all over the place.
She was the most vocal of anyone. But that was still a great pick.
Good.
Yeah, what does everybody else have?
Andy, what you got?
I feel like I have to take a vet because taking a rookie is just too chalky at this point. I'm gonna go with Cara.
Ooh.
Because up until the vote, when she like stood up and talked to somebody, I forgot she was on this season. She talked for a little bit, but she didn't really talk much after that. And she was / maybe is, we don't really know, like one of the faces of the show. And she was a non-factor for the first full half of the episode. And then even after that was very limited.
It's a good pick. And it's Cara is not usually Radar Watch E. So Correct. It's surprising to see her like this.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go rookie here because I still don't know who this guy is.
Boo!
Who? I'm going Michaela's partner, Will.
Who?
Who is this?
Yeah, he's jacked. He was a 4-5 on the power rankings.
But who is he?
He's jacked.
I don't care that he's jacked. At first I thought he was. They just like did what's his name? Who's the guy who got second in the votes? Jake. Yeah, I thought it was Jake looking at him.
It is. He's kind of like a more beefed up version of Jake.
I was gonna say he's just like he's a very jacked, very normal looking guy. Like his face and everything else just like looks like a guy you could not pick out of a lineup, but he is obviously very strong, but very forgetful too.
Well, and here's the thing. He did have at least 2, if not like 3 confessionals, which is very forgettable. Yes, because when they were at the club, he was at the table with Rogan and the lads, and he was like,
Yeah.
like even like it was all these Brits sitting there, and then Will, because I highly doubt he even said a word during that conversation, and he was probably sitting there like, do these guys think I'm British? Like, do they know I'm not really with them? But even after the confessional, it was like, wait, who was that?
That's funny. God,
Good pick. Rookie pick.
I'm looking at this cast. Fucking hilarious cast. Cedric is awesome. Cedric Diggory, awesome. He looks like a Disney Channel like character, like incredible.
To be honest,
what?
I like the cast. I like the rookies. They're fun.
But they just screwed the whole season.
They did.
All right, should we do a McCord favorite pole position? I kind of bulge at pole position.
Ooh, okay. Well, no, we can't. That's the thing. We can't.
We can't do anything.
That's the point.
I was about to say it could be Bananas or D or Olivia and Cedric. Those are no longer teams.
I know. I love it.
It's so stupid.
All right. I guess it's MVP, LVP time?
Let's do it.
All right, MVP, LVP time. You guys know what to do. First one in the chat tonight will be the order of our MVP, LVP. I don't really.
All right, let me ask you guys this while we're waiting, and apologies if this was mentioned while I was out. Did you guys talk about the challenge house at all?
No.
No.
I kind of like it. It's basically like on the side of a mountain.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get obviously more and more shots of kind of the inside of it, but at least like exterior, very cool looking house.
I mean, it's definitely better than. It was funny. Alex and I were watching the other day on Pluto, the one where they were in the cave underground.
Oh, that season sucked.
The bunker?
Yes. God, that
was a COVID year.
That opening challenge where they have to stand in the circle with the boxes for 6 hours. That sucks.
I don't even remember that.
I don't know if I remember that.
God. All right. Mikey the Doctor was the first one to give us the order tonight. Andy, Alex, Trevor. MVP, Andy, who you got?
Pretty easy for me. I'm wearing one of his jerseys. He is the challenge. He's the GOAT. Give me Johnny Bananas. Episode 1, right out of the gate. Give it to me. It's like Trev, when you said that, we see the elimination, we see everyone strapped, or the daily, and everyone's strapped up to each other. It's just like, all right, this is what Bananas does. He does this stuff in his sleep. He was the 7th person up the mountain. He got the first overall pick for the females. Up until the end of the episode, this was Bananas' season yet again. But everyone's gunning for him again. But guess what? If you're going to take a shot, you got to have a bullet. Bananas took that bullet from you. He's the man. He is the Banana Man.
Johnny Bananas, first MVP vote of the year from Andy. Alex, who you got MVP?
Yeah, I was going to go Bananas. I think as a backup, I don't love the options, to be honest, outside of Bananas, but I'm going to go with Justin. I'm going to go with the elimination winner. And I just think, we've talked about kind of the overall quality of the episode. I'm just always a fan of if one of the aspects of the episode that you're watching involves a elimination upset. And I know we talked about once they explained it, it was maybe less of an upset. But the whole house, even Rogan said it, like the whole house was underestimating Justin. It was Rogan, picking the weakest looking guy, all that. and he won. And he won fair and square. Rogan gave him his props and all of that. I would guess that he probably doesn't have much longer on this season, but who knows? But I think just for tonight, like I always love when you can have an elimination upset. So I'm just going to give it to Justin.
And, it's spot on. And Mikey the Doctor called it out in the live chat. Trev's insider, DR, said last week, don't sleep on Justin. And people slept on Justin, and he woke them up. One thing I did, all of this episode, up until, like, even Justin beating Rogan, it was like, this is what I love about the challenge. You get a guy out here who's undersized, but is very competitive, and he doesn't quit. He goes as hard as he possibly can. He beats Rogan. And like he epitomized why we have fresh meat, like as a season, which again is now thrown out the window. But I loved it. And going into the elimination, he even said, like, I'm so sad that I'm already going into the elimination and I haven't even gotten a chance to prove myself. And it's like, buddy, you're walking into your chance to prove yourself right now. Yep. And he delivered. So I love that. That's a great pick.
Just probably got an invite to the challenge for the next 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Huge. My MVP tonight is going to be a rookie. And I'm going D.
Ooh.
I'm going D because not only did she win the daily, she is hooking up with Bananas. She has that alliance now with Bananas throughout the rest of this game. And she's getting a new partner. So the target is off her back. I mean, no matter, as long as you're with Bananas, the target's always on your back. Now that you're separated, you still have the alliance with Bananas. If she can get a Brit to be her partner throughout the rest of this game, it's a good spot to be in, I think. I think she's lined herself up. Taking one out of the playbook, her pole position might be number 1.
I mean, she was looking fantastic, like episode 0, and she was kind of chirping at the Olivia's Izzy's of the world. But to your point, if she is partnered with like Theo next episode, then she's basically safe from all angles because Bananas will save her, the Brits will save her, Olivia, like all of them will save that team. Because I guess you probably assume next week is a female elimination. But yeah, I think D is a good pick.
Thank you.
That's a great pick. My only qualm is not with the pick itself, but like, are we sure she's not going to be with Bananas? And are we sure that next week's going to be a male elimination? Because TJ's got that damn coin. I don't know if he does that every 2 episodes. Like, that's, my only qualm is not with the pick. I love the pick. Everything you said made a whole lot of sense. I just am pissed off with this show.
The coin is a little ridiculous. Like, I don't need Harvey Dent here flipping a coin every episode to determine a guy's. I mean, it's probably going to be a double-sided coin at some point. Like, if it just goes guy, like, it's going to be girl next, right? Like, we all know that, right?
No. It's not a double-sided coin. TJ's going to flip the coin, and they're just going to tell him, hey, say that it's heads.
Yeah,
like, we're not going to see a close-up. It's almost like the watching an elimination where you don't actually know who wins, and then guess what? It was the closest finish ever.
Like, could you imagine, like, they flip the coin, it lands in the sand or wherever. It's clearly heads, and it's almost like the scene, like, I'm picturing it like the South Carolina, Michigan, like, short on the first down, where they're all, like, pointing at it, like, the entire, like, all the guys are like, no, it's tails, that's tails. And they're just freaking out. No, he's like, going through. Yeah, craziness. All right, LVP time. My LVP has to be the shirt of Turbo. I mean, Andy, I can't believe you missed this. It was a quick.
Explain.
It was very Swaggly blanket-esque. What was it, Swaggly or whatever the fuck they're called? Swaggly, whatever.
Swaggly.
So he had a shirt, a red shirt, white text that said, "You can't copy my walk."
You're lying.
Alex.
It was, and it was like a challenge T-shirt. Like you could tell it was like the font and everything. So you would the line of thinking would be Turbo in his fucking lunatic mind at home in Turkey, wherever he lives, went on the challenge website and like did a create your own challenge shirt. Maybe he went to Challenge Mafia for $50 more and like said, I'm gonna type in my text, and it probably says like enter your name, like Alex, I'm on the challenge. Instead of typing a name, he typed, "You cannot copy my walk." Just he's insane.
I might have to go rewatch that.
I hope he lasts a few episodes just so we can see him wearing that shirt again.
I know. I'm searching online. I haven't seen like a clip of it. I mean, it was like AA in Blink Twice. Like it was 3 seconds. Like
what part of the episode was it? Because I'm shocked I missed it.
It was like towards the end, like before they.
Yeah, it was just a coming
back
from commercial showing like a 10-second montage of like people lifting weights, and Turbo was
okay.
To be exact with you, Andy, 8:45 p.m. So 45 minutes into the episode with one commercial, you're probably looking at around 40-ish minutes in the episode.
So that's
some good work.
What was that? Yeah, my LVP, I'm trying to word it correctly. Turbo's shirt, maybe?
Yeah.
Turbo's shirt is good.
Right. Before we go on, did anyone else hear the little snippet of the preview in Turbo?
I didn't really watch the preview. I tried to I don't really
I don't either, but I got sucked in. Do you want to hear it or no? It was just a Turbo line.
Oh God!
Let's hear it.
What
so it was Turbo and CT kind of getting into it, and Turbo's closing line was like, I don't think I'm paraphrasing, but I think he said, as he's walking out, "You big fat lazy idiot."
Mikey the doctor said found a link to the shirt. Send it in the chat, and I'll pull it up. If you could buy the shirt, we have to buy 3 shirts.
I hate Turbo.
I hate Turbo, but that's so smirk.
Okay, am I up for LVP?
Yes.
That kind of leads right into it. I am going to take, for my LVP, I'm going to take that big, fat, lazy idiot. I'm going CT. He just looks terrible. He's so big. He talked about how he like just the shot of him with like the angled up mud slide incline, whatever you want to call it, and just him looking up and being like, I don't know how I can get up there. And then you see guys like Bananas who are his age that put in as many seasons as him, and he's just running up, wins first place. And CT is just dying. And he's talked about how, I think he said before the challenge, like, this is part of my plan. Like, I want them to underestimate me. I come into these seasons looking like this. Buddy, I don't know if you've ever come into a season looking like this. Like, he is just looking terrible. So I'm going LVP CT.
That's spot on. And I don't know if you were on during this part of it, but we talked about when, like, the first season that he showed up and he was kind of chunky. I think it was Free Agents. I could be wrong. It was when he was in the final with Nelly T and Corey. Maybe?
I think that was Invasion. Yes,
Invasion.
That I think was the start of Dad Bod CT.
Yes, but he showed up a little chunky, but could still compete, no problem. This was like a whole different level. Like, he shouldn't even be there. Great pick. Had it on my list. My number one LVP is still on. I'll say no. I have to keep it simple, but twists. It pissed me off to no end. We finally got fresh meat after us talking about it on this show for years and years, and it lasted 1 episode. Didn't need to. This was the most fired up I've ever been going into a challenge in 10 seasons, and almost immediately it's ruined. They do this all the time. Most of the time, it's for seasons that are already a wash. This was the first time where it was like, we've got a phenomenal season. The first episode showed there's some really good rookies. There's a lot of alliances going on. What do? Screw it all up. So give me twists.
So bad. Ruin, like you said, just ruin the season
Correct.
already. If we have so many like switching, we still don't know.
Correct.
I think it's gonna be something with the points. Like if they have the top points, I think they get first priority. That'd be my guess, but
maybe. Because I guess one thing is like, because they raced up the mountain quick enough, then they got first pick. Kind of fluky, but all right, let's see it.
Oh my God. What does it say on the top? Oh, you cannot.
you cannot copy my wall.
I mean,
I
look at
hate him.
That shirt's
He is
incredible.
a lunatic. Does anybody remember what pseudo sport he was on ESPN for recently? I brought this up on the pod when it happened. He was, and it was all over X, the everything app. It's all happening on X. Pillow fighting. He was on TV on like ESPN8 The Ocho for pillow fighting. He is a certified nut job.
I hate him.
Love him. He's so bad.
Does anyone have any honorable mentions? Because I have 3 that haven't been discussed.
I have one. My first honorable mention is Derek's.
Okay.
Just Derek's, both of them. I mean, just terrible.
I love that. I had a little bit of overlap. I had Gay Lions.
What?
How could I make it any clearer?
Oh, how they
That's
broke
a good pick.
How they broke the alliance. Yeah, that can we talk about Derek? Why would he come up and say that to Justin?
I don't know.
Like, just
don't say anything.
Don't make a promise. Yeah, exactly. Like, you've been on how many seasons?
Oh, and like, this is another thing that pissed me off about Gay Derek was he went up and said, like, I talked to Justin, but I like Kara. Burn your vote, dude. You didn't have 2 options. Put it on yourself. Put it on Ashley and fake Will. Like, why would you say all that and then still vote for one of the 2 that you claim they're screwing over?
Dumb.
Yeah, it's kind of funny taking like Derek's social game last season where he basically had every girl kind of riding for him, and then this season, Banana saying, name names, and he's like Derek, and everybody kind of looks to Derek. He does the Simpsons meme, like there's total opposite of season 40.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, I had 2 more quick ones. One, Rogan, obviously, like, he's kind of a little bitch and also lost. Bye-bye. And another one that even with the twist, I'm very concerned about. Olivia seems like she's going to be annoying as hell. Did anyone else get that vibe?
Yeah.
She has been going like this all her challenge career. Like, she started off on such a high point from a likability and everything, but she seems so annoying. I don't care who her partner is. She's going to be someone that I think is just going to be a huge pain in the ass the whole time.
Well, I think the funny thing is, and this brings up the whole little Bananas Theo drama that we had in the house for a little bit. Banana sniffed that out episode 1.
That's what he does.
Like, and Theo can't get mad at it. He called it exactly what's happening. Like Theo can't be mad at him for that.
He's the GOAT. He knows everything that's happening.
I think 2 honorable mentions for MVP. One is, I would say, like, closet corner camera. We got some great shots of Izzy and I think Olivia coming in there. And I would assume that, they're going to keep showing that throughout the season. So that's an honorable mention MVP. And then I can't remember my second one. So I'll just stick with the camera for now.
All right.
I remember. I was going to say honorable mention commercials. we always give it the LVP. And tonight, I think we got 20, 25 minutes into the episode with no commercials. That's honorable mention worthy. E.
Then they kind of turned it up a little bit.
Okay. The whole commercial thing, hour 20 versus hour 30, it's not that big of a fucking deal. At least make it 60 minutes.
Well, you know what?
As Andy and I've been asking for years, I know Alex is very anti this. 60-minute episodes. It makes us go on the podcast earlier. You know, we have to take care of our children, put them to bed early. Like 60-minute episodes are perfect. Like
so I have a question. If you guys looked at this, because I think Trevor, you and I both looked at kind of the schedule for tonight and saw that it was an 80-minute episode. So I kept scrolling through, and basically, because it's 20 minutes, the challenge did a rerun right after this that was 90 minutes. So like the same episode we just saw, but with more commercials. But basically what happens like on the TV programming is it gets to a slot where there's a 10-minute gap and it needs like an episode, right? Do you know what that 10-minute episode was? It was ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
Just a 10-minute episode. Yeah. Somebody could tune in for 10 minutes and watch like one of those stupid little skits or whatever. Just a little 10-minute episode.
I mean, should we watch it? It should be here in 4 minutes. I mean, we'll get off right ridiculous. Here. Yeah.
Last honorable mention MVP that I just thought of was the live chat. We're back. The AWLs. As pissed off as I am about how the twist ended, it didn't necessarily cure it, but seeing Mikey the Doctor, Ryan McCord, TT in the chat made me excited that we're still doing this.
I think we gotta. What was it last year? Because it seems like Tommy might have left right now. Remember, we had like a little inside joke of like Tommy not knowing. Oh, the walk-in after the elimination.
Oh yes,
he didn't know what that was.
My streak.
Should we come up with
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, your streak. Should we come up with another thing right now? And we'll just call it like Tommy's streak happens again.
Not tell him what
it is. He'll have no idea.
Yes.
Yeah, not tell him what it is. What should we do?
We just have to. I don't even think we explain it. I think we just, once we see him pop up in the chat, we don't start with it. We just wait until we see Tsunami in the chat, and then we just say, we don't acknowledge him being there, but we say, and the Tsunami streak is still alive. You know, it was happy to see. It was exciting. I didn't think we were going to get it, and we got it.
So it's oh shit, he's still in here. God damn.
What a legend.
What a shame. Well, we'll have to go to VAR and we'll have to come up with something else.
On that note,
you might have to just fast forward through this, 2 minutes. But yes, on that note, thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I've been your host, Trevor. You can follow us on Twitter at Stir the Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Stir_the_pod. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Shout out George.